Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Plasma and I like surprises. Today we're going to do a redstone trapdoor. Let's go inside the office and I will show you our design. So this is a trapdoor. Let's take a closer look. It's pretty simple. It actually looks more complicated than it is. All you have to do is have redstone rigged up to it somewhere, and with a button you can open it and it will close it so fast that you can hardly even escape it on creative mode. It's very fast. So it looks like there's a lot of moving parts to it, but there's really not. Let me show you a dissection. So over here, you'll see that there are only two pieces to it, really. You have the trapdoor and some pistons that push pistons, and ultimately you have a ring of redstone dust that powers the outer pistons, and you have a ring of redstone dust that powers the inner pistons, and you'll have that down below. You can actually chain them together and just wait 2 ticks after the inner pistons, and then the outer pistons can actually fire off of that one. And so all you need is a button and enough redstone and some repeaters to put the signal in. So let's go ahead and I will show you how to build one. So I'm going to start with some glass so that you can actually see what's going on. So let's say we were to want to build a trapdoor right here. So what we would need is 4 pistons that are going to push up the glass like so. We're going to need pistons on either side that are going to be on the sides and pushing these in. And so we want to give them 1 block of space as if they are extended. And so that is the base components of what we're going to set up. So now, in order to power them, we're going to want to power them from behind. And the easiest way to do this, the easiest, cheapest, most compact way to do this that I've found, is to go ahead and just put 2 repeaters like so. That will actually, because they are a block higher than they often think they are, and these are pointing into these, this is going to cause it to power all 4 of them. So you can do the same thing over here. And what you're going to do is you're going to connect them. And we're going to do this one first before we connect these. So these are going to be powered like so. So we're going to power these blocks, and that is going to, I'll give you a redstone torch so that you can see what we're talking about. We are going to power those through these blocks. Does that make sense? And so what we're going to do is we're going to go around, and this will be able to be filled in as a shaft. We'll fill it in once we're done. So none of the mechanics will be visible. So all we have to do is wrap these together. And so my suggestion is that you dig down, and you do it like so. And the issue is we don't want to dig into our shaft that's going to be underneath like this, and so we don't want to interact with these blocks. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to go around like this. That's all you really have to do. Let's say we go down early and we go around like this, and there you go. So those are wired up, and now let's connect the other 2. So there's a trick to doing this. You want to get these fairly close together, but you don't want them to overlap. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to put redstone dust here. I'm going to lead this across, and we are going to go across to the other side like so. We are going to have redstone dust leading across, and we're going to get really close to these. We don't want to touch them, but we want to be keeping our radius as small as possible. That way we don't have to put a bunch of repeaters. We don't want to run out of redstone dust. This is going to be a little bit more than 15, but if we power it from the middle, it'll only be half the distance, so we won't have to worry. So what we don't want is we don't want this to connect like this. So in order to fix that, put a block that's solid in between, and you'll see that it severs the connection between the 2. And then to reconnect them with that 2-tick delay, remember we want to fire this bottom one. Let's do a lever to show you that we already have it working. We want to power the bottom one, and then we want to power the top one. And the reason for that is because then it'll go off in the same fashion, and now you can see that our trapdoor is working. So now when we power this one first and then wait 2 ticks, it doesn't matter but it will push them up if you didn't break these blocks. That was my bad. So let's start over. So we turn this on, and these are powered. And as soon as this one comes on, they go boom, and it's up. And now, when it turns off in the right order. And see, that's why it has to turn off in the right order. If you do it in the wrong order, it won't work. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to actually hook it up. You need 2 ticks. You want to keep this relatively centered to here because it's the middle of this longer path of redstone going all the way around. And now you're done. That's all you've got to do. Now what you need to do is you need to get your power down to this redstone dust somehow. And how you do that is completely up to you. I'm going to show you ways I will do it. There's a couple ways you can do it. If you want, you can actually use a repeater to extend to it. So let's say we wanted to do that. I could say I wanted to come all the way out past here, and we could lead a button all the way through if we wanted to do it this way. I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing a button so that you understand different ways, because there is an easier way to do it close if you know what you're doing. So let's say we had a button like this. And then all we need to do is fill it in, and you want to invert the signal. And inverting the signal means just putting a redstone torch somewhere in so that it's already powered. I could do that because you want it to be closed by default. And so now it's going to be closed. And so now all you have to do is hit a button, and it opens up. And if you want it to not open up for as long, you could do a stone button that only goes for 10 ticks instead of 15 ticks. And so if you were to use the same block, it would be completely invisible to you. Finally, I'll show you one other way if you want to put the button much closer to the trapdoor. So one of the things you can also do is you can, instead of powering it from here, and if we don't want to power from here, let's disconnect it so that it's open. And what we're going to do is instead, you can power it using a piston that points downward. And so if we wanted to power it like this, and then push this down to not power it anymore, we could actually do that. And so let's actually move this up a block so that we have our distance right. You'll see in a minute what I mean by that. And so we will have, let's go like this. You want to have them 1, 2, 3 block gap between the redstone dust here and the floor that you're going to have here. And what you're going to do with that is you're going to have a block here and here. So it's going to move down, we don't need this, from here to turn off. And so now, if we put a piston right here, and we put some redstone dust on it, then we can put a button above it, right here, and you will see that we will be able to power it and cause it to not power it anymore. And this will allow you to put your vertical transmission much closer to point down, because we want to hit this bottom ring of redstone dust before we hit the top. You have the bottom here, and then you have the top one right here. We don't want to hit this top one that comes around. Maybe if you're worried about mobs in a survival world, maybe you want to light it up in here, in which case in newer Minecraft it's actually pretty easy. You don't need a lot of lighting. But you're not going to be able to see this from the trapdoor. I will show you that. So this is the other way of doing it. If we want to do it this way, we wouldn't need any of this. And so there you go. So that will allow you to open it up and then close it on your unsuspecting victim. All right. That's all you need for today. Stick around, and I'm actually going to show you how to do it one more time for a friend. This is actually a video I did by request. We're going to do it up in the air this time, so you can get another good look at it as I'm building it. So for this final build, we're also going to use a bunch of glass, so that's pretty easy for you to see. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our pistons, and we're going to build it with these. Remember, you need to have a 1 block gap on these because they're going to extend in order to push these pistons into the middle. And so this will be where our trapdoor goes. And so we will build around it. And this will give you a good idea how big it is underground too. So we're going to have 4 like so. And remember, glass doesn't transmit redstone, so I'm not using glass for anything redstone related. have 2 here. And we'll have 2 going into these, like so. We'll have 2 going into these, like so. And now all you have to do is rig this up with some dust. And I like to go low quickly, like this. We want to make sure we don't go into these blocks because this is going to be our shaft that we want covered. And we will come down like this. We'll make it symmetrical. And then we will come around and do the same thing that we did with these, which is put them really close, and we will cover these up. So if you only want to cover up the 2, you can do it like this. Otherwise, you would need to also put a block right here, but that's on you. Do it as you please. It's a good gotcha to watch out for, because if you had this right here and you were doing it almost the same, and you had this, you would have a bug here. You would have an issue, and you wouldn't realize it if you didn't know. And so just keep your eyes out. This is paying attention to detail. Will really help you with redstone. And you'll remember that the way we connected it up was that we ultimately just had to do 2 ticks. We pointed that into a block, and that's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. See, it reaches. And so now all you'd have to do is power this, and it would open and close. And so what you do at this point is you find that way to power your trapdoor so it's closed. And then from there, you would have your button wherever you please up on the surface. Let's say we wanted it right here. Then we would need redstone dust underneath here, and I would need to come around like this. Sometimes it makes more sense to start with the button. See? And now, there's your trapdoor. All right. So there we go for today. Hope that was helpful. Gave you a couple run-throughs. Should be pretty straightforward to build. Shout out to Downey Dolphin on Twitter. He was the one who had the suggestion for this. I might be doing some bigger ones in the future, but I'm not sure what the limits are and what's possible easily. I want to see if I can push the limits on this one. And it's going to be quite the challenge to do bigger ones. But just the same way people do big vertical doors, I suspect we can do something similar with these. The challenge is making it open quickly so that your unsuspecting victim can't climb out of it. You can't just do a slow-moving downward elevator, right? Unless they're completely surprised. Well, have a good rest of your day. Be sure to subscribe and like. Leave a comment. It helps in the algorithm. I'm still learning my way around YouTube. And have a good rest of your day. Bye.